Let's talk about real estate investing. A lot of people are looking for ways to invest their money. Some people are looking at the stock market, and a lot of other people are looking at real estate. And now, traditionally, to invest in real estate, you have to go out there, and the most common way to think of doing this would be to go and purchase a home, an apartment, a condo, or purchase some real estate property, and then you can either lease it, rent it, Airbnb it, and you earn income from the rent or the lease. Now, there's a big problem with investing in real estate this way, and I'm going to be talking about that in this video in just a second. But this is the most popular way, or the way that most people think of investing in real estate. So the big problem with this method is that you want to get into real estate, but you're the average person. Maybe you have $1,000 to invest, maybe you have $100 to invest, maybe you even have $10,000 to invest, but you can't go out there and you can't buy any real estate properties for $100, $1,000, or even $10,000. You can't even use that money for a down payment, and so you're kind of stuck. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about 5 ways that you can invest into real estate without having to have a massive amount of money. And you can actually invest with as little as $10, or you can start with as little as $10 and still get to invest in real estate. Now, although this video is about 5 ways to invest in real estate, these are not all ways that I would particularly or personally use, and I'll let you guys know why as well. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, my name is Eann, and on this channel I talk about ways to make money, ways to save your money, ways to invest your money. I talk about bank accounts, credit cards, and just about everything to do with personal finance. So if you like these videos, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. It's 100% free, won't cost you anything. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button with the notifications on, and that way you won't ever miss the updates of when I post new videos on this channel. So let's now get into the 5 ways that you can invest in real estate, and the first one is Fundrise. Now, I actually did a review, or a full review on Fundrise maybe about a year or 2 years ago, and at that time I didn't really like it. Now, I still don't like it right now, but people still use it and they're happy with it, so you can look into that as well. Now, after looking into Fundrise, I really liked everything about it except one thing. And by the way, if you don't know what Fundrise is, it's basically a fund that you can invest in, and what they'll do is they'll take your money that you invest and they'll pool the money with other hundreds or thousands of other people that want to invest as well. And then they'll use that money to invest in real estate, and then you'll get the profits from these real estate properties, whether it's by leasing or renting or flipping. So you have $1,000 to invest in real estate and you can't really do anything. But with that, there are also 100,000 other people who also have $1,000 just like you. And so they can all go on Fundrise, and each person could invest this $1,000. And Fundrise will take all that money and then go invest it into real estate and then split the profits evenly based on how much each person invested. Now, the concept is good and I love everything about it, but the one thing that I didn't like was something that you may or may not like as well. This was that when it comes on to liquidity or getting your money out, the term said that you could request a withdrawal, but there was no time frame. So the last thing I want to do is invest my money somewhere, and when I want to pull that money from that investment, I have to wait for prolonged periods of time, or even in this case, not even have an idea of when I'll be able to get that money. So for that reason, I never liked Fundrise, and I still don't personally use it. So if you don't mind that, then you can invest there. You can make a lot of money potentially, but you won't be sure as when you can actually pull your money or get your capital back, and that was a deal breaker for me. Now, in addition to this, there were some other things like management fees, advisement fees, and a bunch of other fees, and these fees were smaller fees, probably at like 1% or less, but they do add up. So that's another thing to consider if you want to get into Fundrise or a similar investment fund. Now, the next way that you can invest into real estate is by using Peer Street, and this one is a bit different because you're not actually investing in real estate, but you're putting your money into, or you're lending your money to people who want to invest into real estate. So if you're familiar with the lending club, it's kind of like the same thing, but for real estate. Now, before I even talk any further about Peer Street, for the average person, this may not be a good option because you can only invest here if you are an accredited investor. And when I say accredited investor, it simply means you need to be earning, I think right now it's over $250,000 per year, or you have to have a net worth of at least 1 million. So if that's not you, then you won't be able to use Peer Street. Now, on the website, they have a yield of 6 to 8%. These are loans of 12 to 36 months, and you're actually not investing into mortgages or lending money to people who want to invest in mortgages. You're actually lending money to like contractors who want to rehab homes. So even if you were an accredited investor, I think you'll still have to look at the opportunity cost here, because in 36 months, you'll probably want to pull some capital back and use it for something else that could make you even more money than 6 to 8%. But this is also another option if you want to get into real estate investing, because you can invest with as little as $1,000 here. Now, the next method of investing in real estate is real estate syndication, and this is what Grant Cardone does. Now, you guys may know Grant Cardone. He's a very popular guy, and a real estate syndication is basically you putting your money in a pool with other people, and then this money is used to purchase multi-family real estate properties. Now, the idea here is that you pool your money with the other people. You then get to buy this multi-family real estate property, and then you get cash flow because you get paid from the rent or lease every single month or every single year. And then after around 10 years, you could actually cash out and sell it if you want. So it sounds like a good idea, but we also have to factor in that there are a lot of fees usually involved here. And also you got to look at the opportunity cost again, because you're locking in your money for nearly 10 years in a partly owned real estate deal. So if you lock that in and you lock in, let's say $100,000, would you want that money in 5 or 7 years to do something else? And that's something that you really have to think about. Now, if you want to do this, you can get in with $1,000, but if you're a accredited investor, you need at least $100,000 to start here. Now, the fourth method of investing in real estate is the Burr Method. Now, Burr stands for buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat. So the main thing here would be to find cheap properties, something that you could easily renovate and then rent and then refinance it, and then you could go and repeat the process. You could do this over and over and over again. However, if you buy a property for too much, or it costs you too much to renovate it, or both, then you could lose a lot here. And if you don't have good tenants or known tenants, then that could hurt you as well. So for this to work, well, I would try to only buy properties where I have a good amount of equity in them. And that way it's more of a buffer for when I have known tenants or non-paying tenants, or even unexpected housing repair costs, which is also another method of investing in real estate. Now, finally, for the easiest way on this list to invest in real estate, and the one that I would choose, or the one that I currently use, is by investing in a REIT. Now, the options I've mentioned before, while you can make money, I don't particularly like them for one reason or another, whether it's you locking in your money for a long period of time and not having liquidity, or it costing you a lot to get in, or you just having to take a lot of risk with the investments like Fundrise or Pear Street. So with REITs, everything is easier and you won't have as many problems, in my opinion. Now, if you don't know what a REIT is or what it stands for, it means Real Estate Investment Trust. And this is going to be a company that owns income producing real estate. So this could be commercial real estate, it could be apartment buildings, residential real estate, it could be warehouses, hospitals, the malls, hotels, even forests. Now, good thing here is that REITs are traded on the stock market, and this is why it's easy to get into them. Now, there are different types of REITs. You can get one that's focused on mortgages, and you can get one that's focused on rental income. You can get one that's focused on commercial properties. If you want to invest in, let's say, some malls, you can get one that deals with hotels, and you have many options when it comes on to REITs. Now, just like the other options I mentioned earlier on in this video, you can get involved here easily with not a lot of money, because you can start with as little as $10 or even $20, and this money will be pooled with other people's money to invest into these real estate properties. However, one of the big issues we had before with the other options that I talked about earlier on in this video was liquidity. And with a REIT, if you decide tomorrow that you want to pull your money out, maybe you've made enough profits, or you want to get involved in a different REIT or some other type of investment, you can pull your money out whenever you want to, because liquidity is generally not an issue with REITs. And again, it's easy to get into, and you can use your favorite stock market brokerage account, and you can invest with as little as $10 or $100 and get involved. And this way you can be a part owner of a lot of properties. Also, as a plus, some REITs also pay you dividends, so that's good. And as always, guys, I tell you about the things that I currently do. So from this list of 5, number 5 is the one I choose to invest in with real estate, and this is what I currently do myself. So comment below and tell me of all the options here, which ones have you tried before and which ones are you currently investing in, and let me know your perspective as it pertains to the best ways to invest into real estate. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found some value in this video. If that's the case, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe with the notifications on. That way you don't miss the updates of when I post new videos. Once again, thanks for watching. All the best, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next one.